including China. You're aware of the fact that G42 has various ties with the PRC. Are you aware of that fact?
I'm not specifically aware of it, Senator. No.
On his recent trip to the UAE, President Trump agreed to transfer lots of very sensitive chips and AI know-how to G42, a state-owned UAE company. You're aware of that agreement, right? 2 weeks before President Trump went to the UAE, his son Eric Trump went and did a deal with a different UAE state-owned company called MGX, whereby MGX used $2 billion from the Trump family new stablecoin.
In the world of global power and technology, some deals raise eyebrows, but others set off alarms. Right now, a major controversy is unfolding involving Donald Trump, his family, and the secret transfer of advanced United States AI and chip technology to a UAE state-owned company called G42, a company with reported ties to China's Communist Party.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Van Hollen, Senator Van Hollen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations all. And Mr. Peters, I'm going to follow up on Senator Rounds' questions here. You are aware, are you not, that on his recent trip to the UAE, President Trump agreed to transfer lots of very sensitive chips and AI know-how to G42, a state-owned UAE company. You're aware of that agreement, right?
Senator, thank you for the question. I'm certainly aware of the trip as has been publicly reported. The specifics of what was agreed to, unfortunately, I'm not aware of.
All right. So you're aware of the fact that on the eve of departing for his trip to the Gulf states, that the Trump administration rescinded the Biden administration AI diffusion rule. Are you aware of that?
I am aware of the public pronouncements of an intention not to enforce that rule. And right. my understanding, though I'm not in the building, is that a rescission regulation is forthcoming.
Right. So that rule, of course, was intended to prevent the transfer of very sensitive U.S. chips and AI technology to adversaries, including China. You're aware of the fact that G42 has various ties with the PRC. Are you aware of that fact?
I'm not specifically aware of it, Senator. No.
Well, let me read to you from a letter sent in July of last year to then National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. The letter is from the chairman of the House Committee on Strategic Cooperation with CCP, John Molinar, and the then chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman McCall. It says, I'm just reading, given the ties between the PRC and G42, as well as the PRC's continued interests in the UAE, we ask that the National Intelligence Council prepare an official intelligence community assessment on the ties between G42, including its subsidiaries and affiliates, to the Chinese Communist Party, the People's Liberation Army, or any part of the PRC's apparatus before this partnership proceeds further. So my question to you is, if confirmed, will you argue that this assessment, which the House Republican chair of the Committee on the CCP wanted to see go forward, would be done before the deal with the UAE and G42 would go forward?
Senator, what I can commit is that I would certainly review it. Obviously, rulemaking, policymaking is the province of the export administration side as opposed to enforcement. What I can commit is to a vigorous and aggressive enforcement of those laws and regulations that exist.
Well, I have to tell you, it's extremely troubling because, again, the day before I think President Trump goes to the Gulf, he eliminates this rule that's specifically designed to prevent the diffusion of high-end U.S. technology chips and AI to China. He then does this deal with the G42 company. Did you know that 2 weeks before President Trump went to the UAE, his son Eric Trump went and did a deal with a different UAE state-owned company called MGX, whereby MGX used $2 billion from the Trump family new stablecoin company called World Financial as part of a deal. Were you aware of that transaction?
Senator, I have no knowledge of the Trump family business.
I mean, this was also well reported in the press. Did you see any of those stories?
I'm not familiar with those stories, Senator.
Okay. So what happened was Eric Trump, 2 weeks before President Trump arrived, did this deal which dramatically increased the value of the new stablecoin company that the Trump businesses had launched by essentially purchasing $2 billion of this new Bitcoin. So it goes through the roof in value. 2 weeks later, the president comes to the UAE and does a deal with another UAE state-owned company, G42. Do you know who the chairman of G42 is and the chairman of MGX?
Just before Trump's trip to the Gulf, his administration quietly dropped key rules meant to stop U.S. tech from falling into enemy hands. Then came the deal with G42. And just 2 weeks earlier, Eric Trump struck a $2 billion crypto deal with another UAE company run by the same Emirati royal behind G42. The question now is, was the United States foreign policy being used to enrich the Trump family? And did this put America's national security at risk? Congress wants answers. Intelligence officials are on alert. This is more than business. It's a potential threat to America's technological edge.
No, Senator, I don't.
Well, it happens to be the same person. It happens to be a member of the Emirati royal family. He's the national security advisor, Sheikh Tahoon. I've met him. He's a very good businessman. And he cut a very good deal for G42 with President Trump in terms of getting the transfer of this U.S. technology. And he did it 2 weeks after doing a different deal with Eric Trump that enriched the Trump family business. I have to tell you, this stinks to high heaven. And I hope if you're confirmed, you will work with us to look out for this wrongful transfer, which really puts our security at risk.
Senator Banks.